Hello everybody, in today's video I'm going to show you how to create custom page transitions in Flutter, and this can really improve the UX of your app and it's really interesting to mess around with. So let me clean up this boilerplate code and run the app just to make sure it works, and then we'll work from there. Okay, so here I've removed most of the code from our main.dart file and I created a home page in this homepage.dart file over here. And it's just a stateless widget which returns an empty scaffold. But let me just return some text over there. And now what we're going to do is we're going to run the app so we can see if this actually works. Okay, so here we have our app up and running and everything, as much as I can see, is working properly. So now let me create another page which we're going to navigate to so we can demonstrate our page transitions. So let's go to and create a new file. We're going to call it page 2. We're going to make this a stateless widget. And now we're going to have a scaffold pretty much the same with the app bar that's going to say page 2, and here it's going to say this is the page 2. Okay, now we have our code written, and to make sure that this works, we're going to have to find a way to navigate to our page 2, and I'm going to do that by adding a floating action button, and when that's clicked then we're just going to navigate to our page 2. So here in the scaffold I'm going to add the floating action button attribute, and we're just going to create the instance of a floating action button. Let me just put in some kind of an icon just for fun. Okay, now that we have our icon, let's write the onPress method. In this method we're going to use the navigator.push function in order to go to our page 2. Here we're passing in the context, which is the build context of our home page, and the route. And for now we're going to use the material page route, but in order to build our custom transitions later on we're going to create custom routes. As we can see, our material page route has a builder, which is just a builder function where we pass in the context and we return the widget or the page we're navigating to. So this is going to be page 2, and now let me just import this file and save this. Okay, now we have our floating action button, and when we click it we navigate to page 2 with our standard Android transition. Okay, now if we want this to be kind of a custom transition, we're going to have to build out our own page route. So we're going to do it using the, I think it's called page route builder. So let's remove this code and let's say just page route builder, and here it has a page builder, which is, I think, basically the same thing as the builder we had in our material page route, where we pass in our context. Maybe, I'm not sure, let me go ahead and check. We pass in the context, the animation, and the secondary animation. So let's just copy this and pass it in over here. Now I'll remove all these type declarations. Dart should automatically recognize them, and we're just going to return our page 2. Okay, now we have to build out how our transition is going to look like. And that we're going to do by passing in the transitions builder attribute. And this is also a function which takes in, let me see what that takes in. Let's go to the, not the page builder, but here. That takes in the context, animation, and the secondary animation, and also the child that we're going to pass to. So let me just add that. Remove type declarations so this is a little bit more readable. Alright, and for now we're going to use the slide transition. To be 100% honest, I really am not sure how these slide transitions work, and I'm going to leave a link to a Medium article where I basically learned how to do this. So go check that out. I think it has a little bit more detailed explanation than this, but for now I'm just going to type in some code and we're going to see that it works. So first we have to put in the position for our slide transition, and what I've discovered over here, that when we're putting in our slide transition and the position, that this offset argument kind of dictates, the begin and the end dictate from where our transition is going to slide from. So now we need to add a child to this, and it's going to be another slide transition, and it's not actually going to be child over here but over here after our position argument. And now this slide transition is very similar to the first one, only that the begin and the end kind of switched up, and instead of passing in another slide transition, we pass in the child that is passed in our transitions builder. So now I think we have a workable example. Let me save this and see if this can even work. So let me click on the button and it slides in from the right. Oh, actually this slides in from the left to right, but it doesn't matter. I don't know if you can see this properly because both backgrounds are white. Let me go to page 2 and change up the background color so you can see this a lot better. Let's save this. Click over here and you can see it animates it from left to right. And what we can also dictate, I think, is the duration of the transition. Yes, it's over here and it's duration. Maybe here we pass in the milliseconds. Let's pass in 2 seconds and save this to see if this is gonna work. Plus, and now it goes very slowly. Now we can go 1 second. Now it goes slowly because this is already, and now 1 second it goes a lot faster. Maybe we can even put like a minute to see it go very slow. And now you can see how it's slowly coming out. But of course we're not going to do that. And I think the default speed is pretty much the best. But now I got stuck in here because this needs to finish transitioning before we can do anything. So let's just wait for it to end. Alright, and when I click this, it's pretty dope. But this is pretty cluttered up. As you can see, we have our page route builder, and then we have our slide transitions. And what I recommend is creating a folder in your project. Call it like routes or custom page routes or whatever. And creating over here a new class like slide from left page route maybe. And now just we're going to extract this whole thing into a class. So it's going to be slide from left page route, and this is going to extend our page route builder. And now we are going to import the material package, and we're going to write a constructor for this so we can use the parent constructor. And here we're going to pass in the widget that we're navigating to. We need to pass that in through the constructor. And now in our super constructor we're going to go over here, and basically everything between these two braces we're going to copy and paste in over here. But we're going to change this page 2 to our widget, and let me enter over here, and now completely remove this and just call slide from left page route, and import this and save it. And now this should work just as before, and something over here got messed up. Let me check it. Oh yes, I need to pass in the child argument or the widget argument, which is going to be page 2. And save this, go back, and now this works perfectly. Now let's create a couple of more routes. So I'm going to create slide from left, slide from right, slide from top, slide from bottom. And let me just fast track this process. I'm again going to create a new file. And as you can see, this was pretty much the same process. It's just that we changed up our positions of our transitions. So let me go and use this actually. Let's go slide. Oh, let me call this slide from top route. Paste it over here. Import the package. Save this. And it slides from top perfectly. And I'm just going to create from bottom and from right, and I think we're going to be done here. And again, the process is same for slide from bottom, it just has different positions over here. So let's go slide from bottom page route, import this, save this, and now it slides it from bottom perfectly. And let's also create the slide from right, and here we have our slide from right page route, and again positions are different. Let me now copy this over, use it over here, import the file, save this, and as you can see for our slide from right page route it's all the same, just different positions, and here we're using it. When I click plus it goes from right to left, and I think that's pretty much it. I don't think there's anything more, and actually there's a little cool thing you can do. I mean, there are a lot of options for this, just the slide transition. There are also like when it pops up, and that's what we're going to do in the next video on this transition stuff. But let me see if I can make this slide from bottom left or something. Yeah, so here you just change this offset from 0 to 1 and it slides in from the bottom right, so that's pretty cool. But when I return it to 0, it slides in still from the bottom. When I get it back to 1, from bottom right. So there are a lot of options just from the slide for the slide transitions, so really mess around with this, play around with this, it's really fun and it can really improve the UX of your apps. And for these basic ones I'm going to leave the link to the GitHub repository in the description, so you can download this and just use it in your apps and play around with it, so you don't have to type all the code out. And that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you next time.